Desert Diaries. Week 29. Hello, Arizona calling. And this week, it's been wet. A really sort of Manchester in February torrential rain type wet. The thing is, because Phoenix is a city built on the floor of a valley, it's really flat. I mean, apart from the ruddy Great Mountains in the middle of it, but you know what I mean? Generally, it's a really flat city. So when it rains, it not only really rains, but the water doesn't really know what to do with itself. It's such an arid place that when it tips it down, everywhere floods. I mean, immediately there are rivers running down the middle of roads, huge lake-sized puddles covering entire freeways, and houses, including ours, spring leaks. And nobody knows how to drive in the rain here. For starters, people so infrequently use their windscreen wipers that when it starts to rain, you can see people fumbling and panicking, turning on various lights and indicators. And I must admit, I wasn't sure where my wipers were when I first drove out in the rain this week. But people also just generally can't cope with driving in the rain. They crawl along or speed along. There's a whole load of erratic driving. It actually took my husband twice the normal length of time to get home from work on day one of the rain this week, as people just didn't know what to do. It was really funny to hear some presenters on local radio shows as well talking about their excitement at the coming rain. Have you seen the forecast? Wow, what a cool few days we have ahead of us. I wouldn't call it cool, I'd call it damp. Anyway, there was a phone-in on one station. Do you know where your umbrella is? I kid you not. But it did get me thinking. I had absolutely no clue where my umbrella was, as opposed to knowing exactly where about 6 of the things were at any one time when I was in England. I must say, though, the weather this week contributed to confusing me in ways I never would have imagined this week. I've had a lot on my mind for the last few weeks, and one morning I'd woken up about 3 a.m. I hadn't managed to get back to sleep. So it was through a fug of tiredness that I walked across a car park in the pouring rain under a heavy grey sky to pop to Home Depot. Now, Home Depot, I know I want to say depot as well, but they wouldn't understand it over here. You may have heard it's a big DIY shop, essentially like Homebase or B&Q. And by absolute complete coincidence, because the companies are not related, Home Depot uses the exact same shade of orange in all its signs and products and store fixtures that B&Q does. You walk into a Home Depot, it is kind of like walking into B&Q. So there I am, looking for some sandpaper. I haven't had much sleep. I'm a bit cold. It's raining outside. Everywhere is orange, and my brain clearly thinks, albeit subconsciously, that I'm in Manchester. Perhaps Trafford Park, B&Q. So when an assistant walks past me and says, "Hey ma'am, how are you doing today? Can I help you with anything?" I am so surprised that I actually say, "Oh, hello. Oh, you're an American. Where are you from?" As they looked at me completely blankly, I realised what I had said, but I thought, I'm just going to have to ignore the fact I said that because I don't want to give them the backstory. And they replied, Phoenix? So I just bought my sandpaper, rock and roll, and I left. I must sleep more. So it's the first big holiday of what's known here as the holiday season. Thanksgiving is next week. It's actually our second Thanksgiving in the USA. We had our first in New York a few years ago, but it's our first one of actually properly living here. For many people, it's bigger than Christmas. Hugely important day when families travel across the country to be together. We've got friends who don't spend Christmas with their families, but would never miss a Thanksgiving together. We are actually hosting 2 of our new friends, a father and daughter, both from Manchester, from Prestwich. I know. I will tell you more about it next week. I'll see you soon, hopefully in the less soggy desert.